What's up, everyone, and welcome to issue 25 of Geek Pop Podcast. I'm your host, Toby, and with me, as always, is Josh.
Dang, this episode snuck up on me. Normally you say ready like 10 times, so I have like time to go make a sandwich. You said it once this week.
Quarter centennial.
This is our quarter centennial.
It's issue 25.
Is this our paper anniversary? What is the thing you give on 25? It's something crappy, probably.
It's silver. Paper's like 2. Silver's 25.
Oh, silver, man. Where's my...
Maybe it's 40. I'll give you a silver cocker.
Silver cocker. I was going to make the cocker joke, too. I'm worried that we both went to that.
Oh, you mean after doing things together for like 3 or 4 years, now have the same stupid mindset?
Yeah.
No!
I'm going to become a different person so we're not the same person anymore. That's what I'm going to do.
That really would probably be the best for everybody.
It would. We'd probably get along better because we hate each other. Because we hate ourselves, Toby. I broke our relationship down.
You did.
I did.
So it's just a bunch of hatred towards everything and everyone.
That really sums us up. Man, Merry fucking Christmas, by the way.
I know. Josh, we're going to throw it out there now. I was going to throw it out there later. We'll throw it out there now. We, next week, are taking Christmas off. However, I have super secret plans that Josh doesn't know about yet, but he's fucking doing anyway, because it's my goddamn show.
I know you see it's our goddamn show. Our goddamn show.
It's our goddamn show, but I'm the boss. Josh is the ACIO, and I'm the CIO.
What's A stand for? Ass? What does A stand for?
Assistant, I think?
I'm the assistant chief intellectual operator.
Officer, but yeah.
No, we're mixing it up.
Okay. All
right.
Josh, I have an ACIO and a CIO at work.
I don't care.
That's the only reason I knew that extra acronym could go in the beginning.
Okay, great. Perfect. It sounds like a made-up title.
Anyway. So next week, no real show. There'll be little surprises instead. The week after that, we'll be back with normal programming. But Josh.
Toby.
Speaking of work.
Yes.
Tell me how goddamn ridiculous that sounds to you.
How what sounds to me? Work
The
sounds
story I'm about to tell you.
All right. Lay it on me, brah.
All right. So... I don't know if you know or not, but when you do IT support stuff, there's usually 3 tiers. It's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Sure, and then if you're a tier 3, you get the best loot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tier 1 is basically the front-facing, immediate line of fire, and then tier 3 is I'm so hidden away from everybody that you don't even know I work here.
Oh my gosh, you'd want to be tier 3 then.
Right. So at my last job, I was all 3 tiers because we were severely understaffed.
Yeah, so there weren't tiers then.
No, I mean, we try to use the words just to sound fancy. Like, oh, the server's an issue. It's a tier 2 problem. But it really means nothing when you do everything.
Is that universal? Does everyone use this tier system?
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
who decided on 3 tiers?
I don't know. Who decided on 7 layers of the OSI model? This is all just nerdy networking shit.
God, why did you just tell me about the OSI model?
Because it's all arbitrary.
You just freaking brought real life into this.
Merry fucking Christmas!
This is fantasy land. I don't want to hear about application layers or OSI models. God.
The nerdiest jokes ever at Christmas time.
All right, 3 tiers. You were all 3 tiers. Now you're not.
So now I'm firmly tier 2, where there's a front line of people that get yelled at first, and then if it escalates, it comes to me.
Okay, so you only get the super angry people already? Is that what it is?
If it's more server-side broken is when I have to assist.
Are you good at server stuff?
I'm a beast at everything, Josh.
Sure you are.
But, so, because I'm so used to doing everything, and this place is so specialized, I feel bored at work a lot, because I think to myself, I could do all this, but instead, this one person is the exchange specialist, this one person is this specialist.
I can do all your jobs.
Right. I honestly think it sometimes. Or the way that they fucking break everything up, I think is ridiculous. So the place I work at now is very political, and you need fucking special privileges just to change things in the system in case things break, or all sorts of dumb political bullshit I can't get behind. But this is where it all comes into play, Josh.
All right.
The other day there was a ticket where someone got married, and she wanted to have her last name show up as her old last name in Outlook still, instead of her new last name, or to have both on there, because she was afraid of people not knowing who she was.
Okay.
I mean, our company is like 15,000 people now.
Okay. So
with email addresses.
Does she think she's popular enough that, like...
I forget what role she was, but the concern was if people try to reach me, they're not going to be able to hit my proper address. Now, me knowing how to do stuff in Exchange, this is the nerdiest fucking story ever. Me knowing how to do stuff in Exchange, it takes 2 seconds to make a special rule where you can email
just
20 email addresses.
Yeah.
But it's not even forwarding. Like, you can make it... I could have Toby1 and Toby2 both at where I work, and they all just forward to the same place, basically. I mean, forwarding is the right word.
Oh, did you say the word forward?
I'm dumbing it down.
Came at me all hard about saying the word forward.
They're called aliases.
You're an alias.
But it takes 2 seconds to make. For whatever reason, this was the biggest fucking deal for all these crotchety old people, that they start this, basically berating this woman behind her back. Well, she's probably a fucking bitch anyway. She's gonna get fucking divorced and have to get her name changed back in the first place. Fuck this. I'm not changing her goddamn name. Fuck her. She can just deal with it. And it's all because they have the quote unquote a special policy that they don't make aliases for people's last names like that. But all I could sit there and think was, it takes 2 seconds. What the fuck are all you bitching about? Even if 10 people every day said, I want to change my last name, that's 20 seconds of work.
Do they not do it because they don't want to use up the possible email addresses?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. It wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, it would. Because so let's say she's like Elizabeth Cox, so her email is ecox, right? That's a great email address, by the way. ecox@whatever.com. So she's ecox, and then another ecox comes along. She couldn't be ecox because you used her alias already.
But then it's EA Cox.
See, but then she maybe wants. She doesn't want the A. She doesn't want the. She doesn't want the Elizabeth asshole Cox to be her email address.
I get. All right. Maybe I'll give it to you. But the fact of the matter is...
Yeah.
The where this was really going was, what kind of weird world do you live in where instead of wanting to help someone change their last name in the system, your go-to is, fuck that bitch, I hope she gets divorced.
Yeah. It would involve me logging into a certain number of systems, typing a certain number of commands. Nope, I wish her whole life harm.
Yeah. I thought it was goddamn... Especially in this happy Christmas time. It seems like
yeah, that's a certain dedication to laziness that I'm not there yet. I don't know about you, but
laziness and anger.
Well, like
anger at nothing.
Laziness mixed with bitterness.
I wish I was getting fucking married. Yeah. Fucking dumb broad. God damn it. Last name shit.
There are no females that look my direction, so curses to all of them that found men. That's fun. Do you at work? Do you just have times where you just like sit and don't have anything to do?
Only because of the way my job is set up now, yes. I spend a lot of time... Oh, so this is a thing, too. I spend a lot of time on Reddit at work still.
Yeah.
Of course. But there's a lot of the subreddits are blocked if they're specifically related to gaming.
Oh, okay.
And every time I go to one of them, because I forget all the time, it's just because there's this like warning page that says, this is blocked by blah, 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 production. Call this phone number if you believe this is blocked improperly.
Have you ever called it? Be like, I would really like to see PC Gaming Master Race, please.
I have not, because it really seems like a bad way to get myself in there.
It seems like entrapment.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like, /games or /gaming is blocked, but Game Deals is not, but Game Bundles is. And it's just this really weird combination. That's why I always forget which ones I can't go to. So pretty much every day, I'm sure I still have a couple triggers at work, like this guy is on his websites. But I don't know why. I think it's just because my work computer's a piece of shit. Every once in a while, it looks like the graphics driver shits out.
Nice.
But everything works other than Firefox, which pretty much looks hollow. And it always does it whenever I'm on fucking like random websites that aren't related to work. And I always have this like fear that somehow work is tracking me.
Well, they are.
And they black out my screen when they know I'm on bad Firefox sites. And I have to close Firefox, reopen it. It's fine.
Well, like, for someone who is literally the computer guy for your work, you talk in way vague terms about, I think they're tracking me. I don't know how this all works.
Well, I basically, there's a program called Dameware, which you can use to mirror somebody's computer.
Yeah.
And every time my computer blacks out, I look at Dameware real quick and make sure no whistle on my machine.
You gotta know, man. You gotta know. They've, VNC'd into your machine and...
I just said Dameware, dick.
Okay. Isn't that the generic term is VNC?
I think VNC is a program.
No,
RDP
I think
would be the
it's
generic.
a protocol. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter.
You know what? Okay, we're about 10 minutes in right now. This is the nerdiest goddamn podcast we've ever done.
Yeah, I almost
Other
feel
than
like
the fact I've screamed once or twice, this is goddamn nerdy as hell.
We've fallen into our like real selves, just like talking about protocols and stuff. Man, I guess I'm like a good employee. The only time I've ever been to Reddit at work is when I have gone there to actually like find the answer to a problem. Like my Googling has accidentally brought me to Reddit to figure something out.
I've gone on Reddit to ask questions every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like legit work questions. But most of the time it's looking at just stupid videos
Most of the time
and
you're
pictures.
just on space dicks and it's you're fine, yeah.
Imgur is not blocked. I'm on Imgur all day.
Imgur?
IMGUR?
Oh, Imager.
Imgur.
No, the page, it's called Imager. Get it?
No.
Imager.
Imgur.
Imgur. I like looking at JPEGs on Imgur.
I look at Jabuz and the GIFs and the GIFs.
The GIFs and the GIFs, man. Those are my two favorite formats.
And the Jiffy. That's the best one.
No, Jiffy's terrible because it doesn't work right on my phone.
Oh, fuck your phone, piece of shit. iPhone 6 Plus, my bad eyes.
No, it's Alien Blue. My bad eyes. Do you think that's why I got an iPhone 6 Plus? Do you think I essentially bought the large print version of my phone?
That'd be an amazing reason to do it.
I walked to the store, I bought an iPhone 6 Plus, and then one of those big crossword books that are like 10 feet tall that my grandma uses. Yeah. That's not why, Toby.
It checks out.
My eyesight is bad, but not that bad.
Okay. Josh, here's a random story for you.
I just spit on my screen. There's a random story for you. But I'm wiping it off now, so it's okay. I'm sorry, screen. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say for 2015, we will never have this conversation again. As of tonight, I'm putting a moratorium, Josh, on salad stories from the grocery store.
Are you fearing that they're turning into your elevator story?
Maybe.
Okay.
But
well, let me just pause real quick. I've got an amazing elevator story after this.
the best way to wrap up the year, everybody. Tell the same stories for one last time. Josh, whenever I get salads at the place where I work now, there's always older women that stare at me and smirk at me while I'm doing it.
Because you're doing it wrong. Because you're putting on like...
Well, I don't know if it's because they think I'm fucking ridiculous in my khakis and hardcore band hoodies, or if they're like, look at this younger man getting salads, and they're trying to eye fuck me. I can't tell.
It's because you put on 3 pounds of chicken and then like 18 pounds of bacon. They're not checking you out or like happy you've made good choices in your life. They're just completely appalled at the makeup of your salad.
I've never made good choices in my life. They need to learn that real fast.
Yeah, screw them.
All right, what's your elevator story then?
Maybe they're just like really big Bane fans or something. Maybe they're just reading a t-shirt. All right, my elevator story. I love that was all your story. Was that people look at you what you perceive to be wrong.
No, because like I feel like we always talk about the goddamn salads, but I wanted to get it out there. I wanted to throw it down to you for your opinion on why the old women are staring at me at the bar.
Well, I just want to point out...
Not the real bar, the salad bar.
The salad bar. You know, I was down at the bar today. The salad bar.
I was at the SB getting some grubs.
You know, sometimes I gotta like saddle on up to the salad bar. No, we talked about being the same person. That is the most Josh way of thinking in the entire world. Being worried about what random people at the supermarket think about you when they look at you.
Well, it's not the looking at me part that bothers me, but they're so close to me, and they smirk or smile. Or, I mean, as you know, not really good with women in general for the most part.
No,
or at least the signals. Unless the old women at the salad bar are like, "Hi, you're good looking. Let's have sex." I would have no idea what the faces mean. Yeah. So they might. That's why I was concerned. I thought maybe she's laughing at my food choice. Maybe she's laughing at my sweatshirt. Maybe she's like, "I wish those khakis are on my floor."
I feel like you're too open to interactions then at the salad bar. I'm an antagonistic salad bar maker. Like when I'm there and there's another person there, I'm jockeying for position, man. I'm like, I'm gonna get to that bacon before you get to that bacon.
You box out with your elbows. You just fucking push out.
I'm throwing bows all day long at the salad bar. I'm blocking old ladies with my cart. Like I'm getting in there first. I don't even care. I'm getting the job done.
I'm getting the last 3 baby corn that are in there, bitch!
Baby corn is the biggest fuck up when you're making a salad, Toby.
No, it's so good!
Baby corns are stupid. They're not even real corns.
No, Giant doesn't have baby corn and Weiss does. That's why I love going to Weiss when I'm at work.
But like, What's a baby corn getting you? It's nothing. Like, that's room you could be filling with bacon.
I don't like bacon.
Oh, you're a monster. All right, let me tell you my elevator story. Today on the elevator, this is maybe a one-line story. Today on the elevator, I had
like my salad one.
What?
I got a salad. Yeah. Josh, what's your story?
All right, my story. This is what the show turns into. Just one-word stories about our day. I was on the elevator today, and I had a conversation about how cat dog peed or pooped.
Out of his mouth.
We had no idea how.
Out of the mouth.
You think he just like poops out of its mouth?
It's kind of like Human Centipede, which I've been pushing real hard for everyone at work to watch, and everyone laughs hysterically. But I get so wound up and excited about it, they might have sold some people.
I mean, that's not a good thing to do.
Well, when we got with the family, I was like, have a nice family night. Get the kids together, Human Centipede.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, this is a real movie? And I got all pumped up and told him about it.
What, you work with, like, people who live under rocks up here. How do you not know Human Centipede is a movie?
I don't know. They're all grown-ups. They're all, like, actual adults that don't do stupid shit like watch Human Centipede.
Tell me, we can never grow up because I would shoot myself if I didn't know that Human Centipede was at least a movie. So this random, like, older lady mentions cat dog, and then we talked about how he peed and pooped. She brought up the peeing and pooping, not me.
I like this lady.
I know, I was into it. I was like, can you stop by my desk and talk about stupid shit for, like, 20 more minutes? This is great.
Will you be my new best friend?
Will you adopt me?
So the other good work story is the cafeteria by work. When you pay with a credit card, they swipe your credit card through one of those little, like, it's basically a USB dongle for an iPad, or it might be Bluetooth or something like that. But the whole register is just an iPad with this little scanner on it.
Okay.
So the one guy that I'm friends with at work now, his wife the other day sent him a text and was like, how was your tuna salad for lunch? And he goes, what the hell are you talking about? And apparently whatever credit card they have now sends texts to the phone number that the credit card's registered under, depending on how you pay for things. And apparently the one of these things is those little USB readers or the little scanners that hooked up to iPads.
Yep.
So the past couple days, my buddy's wife has been texting him things like, why would you get buffalo chicken pasta and pasta salad? What is wrong with you? So him and I went down to lunch today, and we were talking to the cashier kid, or like the cook kid, whatever the hell he is. And my buddy's like, I have a bone to pick with you. Something was wrong yesterday. And the kid's like, wait, what was wrong? So we tell him about the scanner thing, and he's like, oh, I can fix that. So we're joking around, and my buddy's like, yeah, tell it to say, leave X's lunches alone, or stop asking him questions about lunches.
Oh, that's great.
And the kid goes, I can do that. And we start laughing, and my buddy's like, no, don't do it. And I was like, no, do it. Just change it to like, just like mind your own business or something fucked up like that. So the kid's laughing, and he goes, okay, how much is the pasta salad? And I was like, it's $2. And he goes, okay, give me a minute. So he just types on the iPad and tells my friend it's $7 for lunch. He swipes his card and goes, let me know what happens.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So then tomorrow I'm going to find out the dramatic conclusion of this. I can't wait to find out what he fucking labeled the food as for this guy's wife to see.
See, I wish that he knew she could see it, but she hadn't told him yet, so then he could freak her out. Be like, you know, it says like, oh, you got an iPad receipt, and it's like, there's someone in your house. Like, it was like, you could just go like real creepy with it.
You just spent $2 on, I'm coming to murder you.
Yeah. This was a $3.75 charge for, hello, Catherine. You know, just like, oh, that's great though. That's really awesome.
Technology's a weird thing.
It is. Those things are cool though. It's like a little Square thing. Like the brand I think is Square. Like,
really?
I've used those at like flea markets and stuff. And yeah, like you swipe it, and I've got apparently an account now because I had to type in like my email address the first time someone did it with me. And now like it doesn't matter who it is, it knows me because of my card, so it tied my email address on my card. So you're literally like it's some freaking like farmer's market. You swipe your credit card, your phone rings, and you have an email with your receipt all like divvied up. It's pretty cool.
I mean, that part is, but it just seems.
Here's the real messed up part.
It's getting deep.
It is getting super deep. Kmart, random thing. This was like years ago, like right when they first like started like their Kmart like reward card thing or whatever. My parents had signed up for one, and then of course I didn't have one because who cares about Kmart? I shopped there at one point, and they said, "Oh, do you have a card?" And I'm like, "No." So I typed in the phone number, like our home phone number, when I still lived at home. And they found it and was like, oh, is it so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, that's my dad or whatever. So went through, bought whatever I was gonna buy. It was probably like an action figure or something. And like walked back to my mom in the mall, and she like got an email that said exactly what I'd bought from Kmart. It's like, that's creepy. That's really weird.
Well, my buddy was freaking out because he didn't know if it was for everything or not. He just said she started getting texts about the purchases, and he was worried because he didn't want her to see like where he bought her Christmas presents from,
or like the really weird messed up stuff he just bought. Like,
yeah, but specifically only the iPad credit card scanner at the cafeteria.
Yeah, because that's the only one that is doing those weird emails. That's awesome. That's really cool.
2014.
2014. Freak out your wife by talking the food guy into writing in the wrong items. Oddly specific.
Hold on.
This train doesn't hold on.
The fucking phone's blown up, man.
You blown up.
Bitches be texting.
We were talking about the origin of blowing up today at work, and it was raised to me. I had never thought about this before. Is that a reference to, or do you think it has ever been a reference to using a cell phone as a trigger for an explosive device?
I doubt it. Or maybe.
Think about it. You're blowing up because you blowing up and trigger.
Maybe. So, Josh, this is the ChristmasCast.
ChristmasCast.
Dun, dun, dun. So the other day, you mentioned to me that you started buying your Christmas presents, basically.
Yeah. Wait, it's like kind of new this year. Well, okay, there's more to that story. Oh, so I was texting with my mom the other day, and I thought there was like the go-ahead to buy my own Christmas and tell her about it. So I did, and then I talked to her on the phone that night. Turns out that wasn't what the go-ahead was. She'd already bought it, and I bought a second one.
Nice.
So then I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, well, I just ordered one today. So I was able to cancel my order before it shipped from Amazon, which is amazing that I got to it in time. But turns out we still go through the rigmarole of the other party purchasing the gift. Even though I know about it, know what it is, we didn't go quite as far as I thought we had gone this year.
And you telling me you started it this year made me think of the fact I've been doing it for the past couple years.
Yeah.
And it actually is kind of like disappointing, I guess, that I don't actually get surprised by presents anymore, or that my family doesn't know me, I guess is a more accurate statement.
Well, I mean, for me, like, to be fair, like, this is the first year where it's been like completely blatant of this is the exact thing I want, and then she's like, okay, I'm ordering, like, I know ahead of time. But like, even years past, like for the past maybe like 10 years, there weren't really like too many surprises at Christmas. It was mostly like, because it's too specific for me, right? It's like, I want like this exact video game, or like, this exact weird gadget. Like,
yeah, that was always my thing too, where I wouldn't say like, Mom, buy me an Xbox game. It would be, Mom, I want Assassin's Creed 4 this year, or things like that. And it's even when she tries to hide it in a different package, you can't really hide the fact that if I told you I wanted these four gifts, I know I'm getting these 4 things. It could be random sized boxes, but I know what's coming to me.
Yeah.
Or the one I told you was the one year I bought, I think it was like 8 or 9 records.
I love this one.
So I gave my mom all 8 or 9 records and said, you always want to give me presents for Christmas, wrap these up for me. And all my mom did was just wrap them, all 9 of them together in the same package and hand it to me. So I actually gave her shit about it because her thing is always, I want to have presents for you to open. I want you to be able to open things. So that was her one opportunity to give me 9 different gifts, and she dropped the ball and made it one.
That's funny. Yeah. That's always like my mom's thing too, is like, oh, you're not gonna have stuff to open. Like it was like 2 years ago where we decided like, let's not buy each other crap so we have a bunch of presents. Like especially this year, it was like, I want one thing. Like just get me this one present, which is what we did.
I guess that's why it's a parent thing, but I don't care if I have things to open. I know my mom wants me to be able to open things.
Yeah.
But she could hand me an envelope with money and go, Merry Christmas, and go, thanks, Mom, at the end of it.
Yeah.
But she wants me to be able to open gifts and nonsense like that.
Well, I think parents want to recapture the, like, I pulled out the camcorder on Christmas morning and you're sitting there in your PJs and you've got a stack of presents, right? They're trying to recapture that moment.
Yeah, so speaking of that was actually why I brought it up.
Okay.
What was your favorite Christmas that you remember from when you were a kid?
Oh, gosh.
I can tell mine first if you want time to think about it. So, one that specifically sticks out to me, and I don't know why, is the one year for Christmas I got Star Tropics for Nintendo as a Christmas present. I distinctly remember opening the game. I could fact check the year that it came out, but I have no idea. It doesn't matter. I remember opening the game and just like parking myself in front of the TV the rest of the morning.
Nice.
But I really don't know why that one thing sticks out. But I mean, 18, we'll say, years of my parents just buying me presents versus me guessing presents.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know why that one game stuck out, but I remember that. I think the one year, and that wasn't Christmas, it was a different holiday. So never mind that one. I remember when I bought myself a Guitar Hero for Christmas the one year.
Nice.
And the whole family watched me play Guitar Hero and were confused about what it was because that was when it actually first came out.
Oh, yeah. So that just blows people's minds, I'm sure. Like, the first time seeing Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
What?
And then the weirdest, maybe not weirdest, but one of the emotionally best Christmases, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, this is pretty deep again, but whatever. So, my grandmother loves The Wizard of Oz.
All right.
And for whatever reason, the one year I bought her, I think it was a Dorothy statue or maybe like a snow globe with the Good Witch in it. Or some larger Wizard of Oz related purchase.
Uh-huh.
And my grandmother actually like broke down in tears and was like, I love you so much, blah, 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 blah. And it just hit this, I mean, like, I'll man up, I fucking bawled. I don't know what triggered all of it, but it was like a really weird Christmas for me. Like, I just bawled and I was like, love you too, blah, 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 nonsense.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I was a grown up for that.
I feel bad now because I don't really have like a good like singular Christmas moment that stands out above the rest. Like, but I don't know. Christmas is fun. Like, not even for like the presents and stuff. Like, I always love Christmas morning because like it's one of the rare times. And this maybe sounds bad. One of the rare times like as a family, like we all hang out in the morning, right? And you open the presents, and then there's always like the like mom goes and fixes breakfast, and like me and dad hang out, and then like we all sit as a family and eat breakfast and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's something that normally like we're all busy and we go do our own thing, even when I was living at home. So Christmas was always cool for that, where it feels like a weird camp out in your own house in a weird way, because like you're surrounded by your new stuff, and you're like, I don't know, it all just feels weird and new, even though it's you know the same place. But
The one part that was always weird for me was because of the parents being divorced. It was always both houses Christmas Day kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that part itself isn't that bad, but I always lived with my mom. And on my dad's side, I had a stepbrother and a half-brother. So, especially when we were younger, it was never wait for Toby to open his presents at dad's house. It was when those two woke up, they opened their presents, which made sense. And I opened my presents at my mom's. But it was always weird then because I would go to my dad's house and everyone's gifts would be open, and I'd open all mine by myself.
Uh-huh.
So people would like kind of watch me, but not really. But I don't open presents well.
Okay.
I guess like even when I get gifts from people, I enjoy that I get things, and not in the douchey way. Like it makes me happy. I guess like having a significant other or friends getting you things is what I miss from when my parents bought me gifts.
Uh-huh.
Where it's these people know me, they're buying things based off my personality. It's the randomness that's cool, but I'm not one to like put on the big stupid smile and like oh my god, this is so great. Like I'm happy. I just don't show it well, I guess, when I get gifts.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It is hard to receive gifts, like, cause like it was really hard to like. Because you appreciate it, but then it's like I'm always in my own head of like, do I look like I appreciate it as much as I really do appreciate it?
And I know I never do. That's usually my problem.
But I usually err on the side of just like, you know, acting like I like it at the time, but then just like saying thank you for like the next like 4 days, just like over and over and over again. Like, man, that was really awesome. Like X that you got me. Like, thank you so much for that, or like that sort of thing. Usually where I go.
And it's weird because I like giving stuff so much more that I don't even care. Like if someone hands me a present, I'm usually like, no, fuck this. Open yours instead. Because like that part is just so much more fun to me. To be like, hey, I know you. My brain works every time, all the time. I thought deeply, got you this gift, and it usually works out pretty well.
I don't really like getting presents. I just sort of dawned on me. I don't really
like things.
Well, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a weird, especially like in adulthood. I never know who gets presents and who doesn't. So then I don't get presents for anyone. Does that make sense? Like I don't know. Like I've never had a friend group that was like really into like buying each other presents. I know like some friends like really are. Like, oh man, I bought like my 20 best friends a present, and like me and my friends never were really like that. But I don't know. It always just seems weird to like get people gifts and then receive gifts from people, and then I didn't get them a present, so I have to go buy one real quick maybe, or do I don't know.
Yeah,
weird insecurities.
Gifts are hard.
I realized something else this year, Toby. I kind of hate Christmas.
Is this implying the story that you hinted towards on Sunday or no?
Maybe. I don't remember what I hinted at on Christmas, but on Sunday. But like, you know, Christmas, like, especially now that we're old, like when we were like little and stuff, and like, oh, I can't sleep Christmas Eve, and then I get up and all these presents and stuff are there. Well, now it's literally just like, well, here's the thing I want, Mom, and she already bought it, and I'm just gonna go pick it up Christmas morning. Like, now that it's that, like, Christmas is just a hassle because like. It's like a month and a half of time where I can't shop at like Walmart anymore because there are too many people and I hate people and they're touching me and they're clogging up the checkouts and it's just there's no place to park. It's terrible.
That was the one thing I did think of. I usually do most of my shopping either on Amazon or the one like farmer's market around here isn't so much a farmer's market as it's like a little mini mall kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I go to those kind of places because I know it's not going to be packed. But yeah, pretty much beginning of December, I stopped going out because I know any place I go is going to be fucking lines and people acting stupid over gifts. And
yeah, like last weekend, like I was actually trying to just like run around. Like I thought about going to the mall and like drove past the mall and there was like literally not a parking spot in the entire mall parking lot. Like on just a Saturday.
I don't have patience for that shit anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like, yeah, exactly. I couldn't do it. So then I went to like a regular store and it was like I think Walmart or Meijer or something. And it was so packed and so many people. I got so angry and so frustrated. Like I had to leave like before I like got in a confrontation with people. It's like I can't do it. So maybe that's more on me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I guess to wrap up the Christmas purchases for this year, I told you, and I put on Twitter because I was fucking stoked. I bought myself a Wii U for Christmas.
Indeed.
And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to charge the take it with you and play it. Well, I guess I'll ask you real quick. You know the hand unit thing?
Yeah.
If I'm not in the house, can I still play it?
Doesn't work.
Oh, really?
It has to connect to the base unit. All it is streaming video from the base unit.
Oh.
So maybe should have researched that purchase.
Oh, no, like that part's fine. But what I was going to do is just take the tablet part and give it to my mom and be like, here, wrap this. I'm going to open it on Christmas. I'll show you what it is. But I guess that's not really a thing then.
No, not even a little bit.
If I wrap both, do I need it hooked up to anything in the house?
No, so if you just plug in your Wii U, like the base, like the actual console, you don't have to hook it up to a TV. You can just then control it with the tablet. A lot of people do that. Like I saw a picture of like Patrick Klepek doing it on a flight. Like he just plugged it in on the flight and left it in like the tray back. And it was just playing on the handheld unit. I see people do that in cars and stuff, too.
So if I set up the system itself, I can unplug it, take it to my mom's house without being hooked up to the TV, and be like, here, let me unwrap this, and then I'm good.
Yes, but I would definitely run through the setup first if you haven't already. Like, I wouldn't try to set it up the first time without being plugged into a TV, because I think you need to see both.
Oh, no, like, either way, I'm going to do it for real. At my house first. I'm just going to give it to myself on Christmas as an actual Christmas gift.
Yes, that is good. Indeed. I bought myself tickets to a wrestling show for Christmas, Toby.
I know, and you're all pumped about it.
I was excited.
I don't know what to say to you, so I said okay, and then Josh
Yeah, you were real like lackluster about it. I'm really stoked, though. It's going to be great.
I would be, too. I mean, when I went to see SmackDown for... I think it was just a random thing. Remember I was in front row?
Yeah,
You could see me staring at girls' asses and stuff.
that was the most fun episode of SmackDown for me to watch. Because it was like, my buddy's in the front row.
Yeah, I was acting pretty stupid the whole time, too.
You were.
But yeah, it's the same thing. Like, no matter what, being in the front row is awesome.
Yeah, that was the thing. I bought like front row tickets just as like a treat because I've never done it before. And it's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. Plus, it's ROH, so it's like gonna be.
That means Ring of Honor for people who don't know.
Ring of Honor. So I get to bang on the thing. That was really like the deciding point. Is I get to like bang on the barricade that everyone does at Ring of Honor.
Is that a thing? Like Chikara
it's a thing
does?
They do.
Is that where they got it from? Probably.
I think they probably started it. ROH probably started it.
That's what I mean. Like Chikara probably stole it from.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of, so this is a weird random aside. Front row. You're talking about being front row. I was like pseudo front row on the entrance ramp one time for Raw, so I have like cool like video saved of like you could see me going down the ramp, and I got to fist bump Jerry the King Lawler. That's the closest I've ever come. That's the closest I've ever come to celebrity, Toby.
I got to double high five Oksana.
Double high five? You did? I forgot that. I forgot she double high fived you.
I might also have a picture of her butt because she was right in front of me.
Well, I mean, you do what you got to do.
There was that. And then I kept trying to yell to Vicky when I saw her because this is tangents like a motherfucker.
This is where my brain's at today. I'm just all over the place.
Yeah.
Who's the famousest person you've met? Have you ever met anyone famous outside of like taking pictures of butts at wrestling?
I met a lot of bands, I guess.
Have you really?
Yeah. Does that count?
Yeah, sure. Who have you met?
I hung out with the Used on their tour bus.
What? How? I've never heard the story.
Because when I was in college, my buddy did the radio show for a different college. So him and I used to always do it together because he always played punk and hardcore music. Uh-huh. But he got us tickets to a bunch of shows because of doing the radio show. And the one time the girl was like, hey, do you guys want to meet the band before they perform? So we were like, obviously. So that was, I mean, it was pretty much like, it was like a camper your grandparents would have.
Yeah.
Like when the band, it was when they were way smaller, like when their first CD came out.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I mean, it was weird to see how they just drove around this fucking like car built for two basically with 4 or 5 people. But it was weird because they were looking through weird porno magazines when we were on the bus together. And they were like, the guy was like, I want to find a good one with this girl peeing. And he ended up cutting the picture out of the girl peeing from the magazine and taped it on his amp that night. But I was there when he cut the picture out.
All right. I was going to ask if it was awkward, and I don't know if that answers the question or not. Because my fear is, like, if I got to like, go backstage or, like, a meet thing, like, I would always fear that, like, I say, hi, so-and-so, I'm a big fan, and then we just stare at each other. Like, I wouldn't know what to say next.
I mean, there was that, and then I guess from going to punk shows when I was younger, I was friends with a lot of bands. Like, I took drum lessons from the drummer in a band I liked when I was way younger. I met a bunch of singers and stuff just hanging out. Like, I have pictures with me with Kenny from the singer from the Starting Line or Nate from Finch.
Man, brushes with fame here. The most I've ever done is, let's see, I met Randy Orton at a signing because, you know, I paid him to sign something, so that doesn't really even count. And we talked about title belts. Specifically because he was the champion at the time, so I was asking him if he had to like carry it on flights. So we talked about that. That's pretty much it, man. Like, I'm
not gonna count like the Comic Cons because I mean I've met a bunch of people at Comic Con.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But that's more forced though. I feel like they have to do that.
Yeah, so you know I've talked to like authors and stuff. Like John Romita was cool. He hit on my mom. That was weird.
Yeah, your mom's an easy lady.
Apparently,
Merry Christmas.
He literally said, like, what brings a pretty lady like you to a place like this? I'm like, dude.
You want to take her back? Can I have an autograph?
Yeah, I should. Yeah, exactly. Like, listen, what's this going to get me? Because, you know, if it's a Spider-Man sketch, have your way with her. That's terrible. It's Christmas.
I just to finish the band thing. The best band moment ever was I went to see Rufio and Over It together.
Nice.
It was probably like an hour away, and all my other friends were going to a different show, which was fine. But I went down by myself. It was pretty much like an early birthday present for me. So I met kids. I pushed them all the way to the front in the beginning like I always did when I was younger. Met some kids up front. We were all bullshitting the whole time. So the one kid kept yelling to Rufio like, hey, I know how to play a song on the guitar. Let me come up and play it. So Rufio kept kind of like, the whole band kept trying to like blow this kid off kind of.
Yeah,
it seems like a weird thing to say. But I think that group was like, hey, why are you here by yourself, or what are you up to, blah, blah. And I was like, it's my birthday, you know, it's my present. And they're like, oh, that's cool, it's cool. And I was probably 20, and they were probably like 17 or 18. So it wasn't like a weird age gap kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
But, so at that time, Over It was one of my favorite bands, and I had a stolen copy of their new CD, which had way more songs on it than like the release version did.
Oh, snap.
So I knew a bunch of songs before then. So when Over It came up, before they started playing, I was like, hey, can you guys play Ignore the Noise? And the singer, Pete, was like, yeah, we'll see. We usually do, but, you know, I don't want to guarantee anything. We'll see.
How do you know that song, you asshole?
So the kid next to me was like, oh, you have to, man. It's his birthday. And so the singer, the guitar singer was like, yeah, we'll see, like kind of joking around. So before they play the song, and this shit's stuck in my fucking head, they're from Virginia. So they were up here in Pennsylvania, and the singer was like, you know, we met a bunch of cool people while we've been up here, blah, blah, blah. He's like, this song goes up to my buddy Toby for his birthday. This is Ignore the Noise, and I started playing the song.
That's awesome.
And like, I've never been so happy, because I was like, my favorite band called me out for my birthday and was like, here's a song that you love.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool.
And then after the show, I was talking to him when they were like selling their merch, and I was like, I have a question for you. And he was like, sure. And I was like, why does this one song have different lyrics on this CD than the other CD? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, honestly, I have some bootleg demo version of your 20-song CD when the real one only has 13, but the lyrics for this song are different, and I don't know why. And he was like, that's so fucking cool. He's like, do you remember other songs that are on it? 'Cause I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, honestly, no, I wish I did, man. But it was just like, these words are different. So he's like, that's so fucking cool. So I had him sign a poster for me. And he signed it like, Toby, you crazy downloading fiend, Pete. So he completely acknowledged the fact that I stole one of their CDs.
I love it.
Like, he was like, you have a bootleg version that I wish I had of an album that we don't really have.
That's amazing. Like,
yeah.
You told him that you pirated his CD and he was into it. And it sounded like he wanted a copy.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know a lot of bands now are like, hey, steal our CDs. It's cool because I know they're expensive. We just want our music out there. But this would have been like way before that time.
Yeah, that's old school. That's back when stealing CDs was not cool.
Yeah. He accepted me in my nonsense.
My one like interesting meeting band story is that the lady from the band The Subways gave me a button before a show one time.
Oh, really?
She walked up and said, do you want a Subways button? And I said, yeah, definitely. And she handed me one and walked away. But my greatest... So, speaking of meeting other people at shows... Oh, this is a bad story. But me and my friends one time went to see Angels and Airwaves and Taking Back Sunday. This was like... I think this was like the year... So this was like junior... Maybe it's the summer of junior year of high school, I think.
Okay.
So we like road tripped out. It was like a long ways away. We stayed at a hotel and everything. So I think we got like 2 rooms. So it was like me and 2 other guys in one room, and then a few other people in the other room. So my 2 friends that I was in the room with both met girls at the show.
Nice.
Nice for them. 2
Josh met
girls,
his hand.
3 guys. 2 girls, 3 guys. So we're at the show, and they're all acting stupid and like high school boy about the girls. And I'm just thinking like, man, this is gonna go poorly for me because I'm the odd man out here. I'm picturing, like, yep, they're coming back to the room, and so they, like, disappear with these girls, right? Just gone. And the rest of us don't know where they go, and we're like, gosh, because we're in, like, this weird city we don't know. So we just go back to the hotel room, get a cab, and, like, forget about them. Like, well, hopefully they show up before we have to leave tomorrow. So they came back in without the girls, which was all good. Then the next morning, they left with our only vehicle to go have breakfast with those 2 girls. Okay. So then they finally come back. We're all mad because they stole the vehicle and we didn't know where they were and stuff. So they come back, they pick us up. And the night before, they were all like bragging about meeting girls. Like, oh man, we met these 2 awesome girls at this show. Then the morning after breakfast, they were like really quiet about it. And we were like, so you're not bragging anymore about the girls? Like, what's going on? Come to find out, the girls were like 15 and they were like, these guys were already like 18. Like,
nice.
Yeah. So
It's still kind of okay then.
I mean, it still is illegal.
I guess.
Still is illegal.
Speaking of getting stuck places, Josh.
Yeah, you're stuck in this podcast.
When I was 14 or 15, I was really... Or, I mean, not just that specific year, but I was really big into laser tag.
Who is it?
So the one year, we had a team. We went to Virginia for a laser tag tournament.
Did you have a name? Was it a stupid name? Was it a pun?
I forget what team I ended up on. But, I mean, they're all stupid puns. That's a given. But the important part, I rode down with a bunch of people from up here, and I kind of liked them, but not really.
Okay.
And I was going down there to talk to a dude that lived in Virginia that I knew from playing laser tag up here. Like him and his team came up to PA once for a bunch of stuff. So eventually we all went to Virginia for something else. So I knew him and everything, and I was like, hey, can I crash with you? I'd rather like stay with someone I know than in a hotel room with these assholes. This turns into, for whatever reason, there was no ever plans of how Toby was getting back to Pennsylvania from Virginia. So I was stuck in Virginia at this dude's house with his parents for maybe 4 or 5 days after the day I was supposed to come back. And my parents were not happy about this.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So everyone else left on like a Monday. And I think I came back on Thursday or Friday. And that was only because the one dude I knew from up here was coming back from Virginia to PA with his girlfriend who lived in Virginia. So I got a ride back with those 2. So it was shit like I got a ride back at all, basically. And that's my story of getting stuck in Virginia.
Awesome.
There's no real ending to that. It was just one of the dumbest things I probably ever did.
See, I would freak out. Like, I'm enough of, like, a weirdo. Like, I guess this is a weird to freak out about this. I would, like, worry about not having a way back if I had never planned one and I was heading to a different state.
What? It didn't click to me. I didn't have a ride back until I went to this dude's house and no one else was staying there. And eventually I was like, I wonder how I'm getting a hold of everyone else when they leave. And I just never did.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Life I lead.
Sure, why not?
Merry Christmas. Josh.
Toby.
I'm glad you're using that sexy voice.
Yes.
Last week, England banned a long list of sex acts in their porn, including face-sitting, female ejaculation, and fisting.
I want to point out this was a requested story for us to talk about.
Well, last week I got sidetracked. I had the first part of this last week.
Oh, okay.
And then Kieran hit us up on Twitter and was like, hey guys, there's a protest where people are sitting on each other's faces.
Yeah.
Fully clothed.
Yeah.
Outside Parliament in the UK. So basically what happened is the UK decided a lot of things are too dirty for porn. And then all the people that were like, fuck you, we're going to do whatever we want to in porn, decide to have, we'll call it a fake orgy on the sidewalk, where just random people are laying down on their back with women sitting on top of their faces.
Yeah, I think you've got the idea. I saw the most amazing video of it, where the guy who was getting his face sat on had his arms up in the air like he was like thrusting his arms, and he was yelling and chanting. He was like, "What do we want?" He was all muffled because there was someone on his face. So it was like, "What do we want?" And it was like face sitting. It was like, "Where do we want it now?" It was great. It's maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen on the internet.
It's funny because these are one of those stories where like I don't even know what to say to this.
Yeah,
all the details are already out there. Other than the fact I'm bringing attention to the plight of England, where people want to see female ejaculation and fisting. They're not allowed to right now.
Well, that's the internet.
So
they can still see anything they want, right? I don't understand how a country can ban something. Like, how does that work? It's the internet. Like,
you put filters.
But I can still probably go to the websites and stuff, right? Or can I not?
I don't know. I don't know if they're cracking down as hard as like China does or like those kind of places.
I guess that's what I want to know. Is like, are they only banning the like .xxx sites, or like can they still go to like all the big hits? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know how like sites usually have categories?
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Josh, I heard that sometimes porn sites have categories you can search by.
Oh, is that okay? Okay, gotcha.
So I would have to assume there's tags on those videos.
So you think they're just like parsing for like anal fisting,
female squirting, female ejaculation, things of that nature.
I think it's a weird idea that a government body got together and said, some porn's okay, but let's not get too crazy. Like,
well, I mean, the escalation of that is fucking Japan they blur out
the dicks.
I heard.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
I've heard they blur out the genitals in the porn. But they also have porns where like girls put eels up their assholes.
That's why, because it's like, well, we can't show the normal stuff, so we gotta get fucking weird with it. Like, I mean, obviously, it's an A to B situation, right? Here's what this tells me. In like 3 years, if this continues, we're gonna get amazing tentacle porn in English because it's gonna be made in Britain. Toby, this is a perfect situation.
So 2015 is the year of the English eel porn.
2015 is the year of the English every weird porn you've ever wanted to see in Japan.
Sweet.
Like, all the awesome porn game shows and stuff like that, it's all gonna happen. It just can't show squirting or fisting.
Damn!
Yeah, I mean, really, you can probably work around it.
The one or two things I wanted to see, now gone.
You just got a list and you check a couple off, but it's still good. I mean, it's fine.
I have a list of like 25 or 30 fetishes, and I'm down to 27 now because of goddamn England and their UK bullshit rules.
How you gonna get anything done?
I can't now.
Yeah, this is weird. Censorship is weird. I don't know if we want to get like me on a soapbox in this thing, but man, fuck all governments. Just all of them.
So, rather than do the usual between news stories like I usually do,
yeah,
Ernesto wrote in and said about how the movie The Interview caused the biggest shitstorm in the world of we're basically going to have a new 9/11 if we put the movie out, and I guess we'll start at the beginning. So, a while ago, Sony Entertainment, the US branch, had all their shit hacked, and there's a bunch of things that got leaked, like people's names they use when they go to hotels and medical records and all that other kind of stuff. Along with that, according to the internet, I guess at this point, North Korea said that if we put out the movie The Interview, which is starring Seth Rogen and James Franco, where they try to kill Kim Il-jun?
Kim Jong-dick, whatever his name is, yeah.
It's not Kim Jong-il, it's Kim Jong-un, I think.
Kim Un cock.
Okay.
Sucker.
Well, first of all, this podcast isn't... We're not standing down, Josh.
Yeah, suck it, North Korea. I'm making jack-off motions towards your country, and you can't tell. I'll talk about The Interview all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so basically, because this movie involves North Korea, and presumably only Kim Jong-un would care about it, but they said that if the movie comes out here, that there's going to be terroristic things that happen. And this slowly has escalated more and more in the past week, where eventually the movie got to the point, I believe, Wednesday, that it wasn't going to come out here at all.
Jeez.
So, for whatever fucked up reason, the horrible internet terrorists, hackers, quote unquote, whatever you want to call them, actually got a feature film to not be put out in the theaters because they threatened to do things that... North Korea threatens to do shit to people constantly. That's the first point. But along with that, it just seems ridiculous to care that much about a movie to have it shut down. So, it's officially banned. But what happened next was places like the Alamo Drafthouse this morning... This is recorded Thursday. Probably come out Friday, like it usually does. Thursday morning, the Alamo Drafthouse and a bunch of other places said, because we can't show The Interview, we're going to play Team America World Police instead.
Yeah, nice.
Because, as the ultimate fuck you to Kim Jong-un's dad, who's passed away. I think it's his dad.
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Kim Jong-il, the old North Korea dictator.
And then there's a new asshole.
Yeah. So to make fun of the old dictator instead, a bunch of theaters said, we're taking pre-orders now for tickets. We're going to show Team America World Police instead of The Interview because it still has the same effect. It still, quote-unquote, picks on the weird, terroristic head of North Korea. So... This is right now 7:16 p.m. Thursday night.
This is like a weird CNN broadcast I'm listening to all of a sudden.
This is the most newsy thing I'm ever going to do in my entire life. As of now, Paramount Pictures, the company that owns Team America World Police, said that any theater is banned from showing Team America as a retaliation to The Interview not coming out.
What? Paramount has come out and said, no, you can't show that movie either?
Yeah. So
a different company. Paramount's a separate company.
Yeah, because Sony was putting out The Interview.
Yeah.
Paramount owns Team America.
Jeez.
So the question now is, what do all of these movie companies know on the backside where Paramount was that concerned that they're not going to show Team America, that won't let places show Team America now?
What do they know on the backside? What do you mean?
Like, there has to be something else going on separately that no one knows about yet that Paramount would care enough to say you can't show this movie.
No, Paramount's just scared that then it's going to get turned on them. Like, all the we're going to do bad things to you, Sony, is going to get turned on to Paramount. Paramount's just being chickens.
Is that what you think it is?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything extra about it. I think it's like, wow, we don't want to get hacked either. We would like to keep all of our secrets. Like, that's all it is, right?
I guess so.
Paramount is not in the business of making political stances. They're in the business of making a lot of money on movies, so it's not in their best interest to go.
But you would think, yeah, I would think Sony was too. I mean, the whole thing seems highly suspect because the two things that are pointed out, both Seth Rogen and I think mostly Seth Rogen, said he wasn't going to do any interviews or media stuff for The Interview anymore, which of course is enough to drag more attention to it.
Yeah.
And along with that, I don't remember the name of the movie, but there was a movie that came out last year, I think, where James Franco played a gym teacher that was hitting on a student for the film.
Yeah.
Along with that was when James Franco had the drama where he got, quote-unquote, busted talking to an underage girl.
Okay.
And, like, saying, like, hey, you want to come to my... He never sexually, like... He didn't... What the hell is that show with Chris Hansen?
To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, so he never actually, like, solicited her for sex, but she would, like, talk to him. She was from some random place, and she was like, hey, I want to come visit you. And we would just say things like, do you want me to get a hotel? So it was never, like... Or, like, do you want me to get a room for you or something like that? So it was never actually sexually explicit.
Yeah.
But all the shit went on about it last year about him on Instagram, and that all happened months before this movie came out, where the movie was about what he was doing. So everyone at this point thinks that was just made up bullshit drama to attract attention to the film. So I had a weird, deep gut feeling that all the shit's going on now is some weird thing to attract attention to the interview.
No, you don't think so, really?
Yeah.
No, all the hacking stuff isn't true because they've released so much stuff. All the hacking is real. Maybe
the hacking part is real. I think the terroristic threats of, if you show us a movie on Christmas, we're going to blow up movie theaters, seems very extraneous.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. But it's also a really weird, like, we're bowing down and we're negotiating with terrorists thing, too.
I mean, I guess big thing is I'll throw it in quotes, but Judd Apatow freaked the fuck out. Like, a lot of actors freaked out about this and was like, I can't believe the internet won. You backing down to basically empty threats.
Yeah.
Sets a brand new precedent for, like, any sort of terrorism like this.
It totally does.
Because if it works once, like, let's say a movie's supposed to come out next year where something else shitty happens in it. What's to say it's not going to happen again?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
And it's, like, if it was, like, anonymous, I would assume they could do it. Like, if Anonymous was like, we're going to leak this information if you guys put this movie out, I would trust that. This is like, we're getting thinly veiled threats from a country that there's no real proof that shit's happening.
Yeah, they don't have
and we're
going to
back down.
They're crazy. They've proven time and again that they're lunatics, just screaming into a vortex. Like, there's nothing going on with them that, you know, really a movie theater in America should be scared about, or at least, you know, maybe eventually down the road they could do something. But we can't live like that. We can't every time we make a movie, we can't be thinking, is North Korea gonna like this? Yeah. We can't do that. Crazy.
And it's weird too. I mean, their issue was it shows Kim Jong-un in a poor light. But think about how many TV shows and movies that, like, America has about America where the president's a piece of shit and, like, a terrorist or...
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just a weird backlash because it's, like, foreign versus localized or nationalized. But it's just a weird, it's setting a real weird precedent right now of, like, what is the future going to have for any sort of media whatsoever if thinly veiled threats stop you from doing something.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, yeah, exactly. It's really weird because, like, the whole Sony hack is bad and stuff, and then the threats and even are bad. But, like, yeah, we totally should be like, everyone should go buy a ticket to that stupid movie to go see it, just as a big F you to anyone who would, you know, tell us otherwise.
Right.
You shouldn't say, oh, okay, you totally win. Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, like, it's not even stopping the movie, because I think it was either the internet or Sony said today, like, we're just going to have to, like, put this movie out, like, digital only.
Stupid.
So that's two things. A, it's still coming out, so it didn't really stop. It stopped the mainstream part of it, but it didn't stop anything else. And B, they're still getting money off it, and there's been so much fucking drama with it now that's going to just bring in extra money.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they showed in the back end.
Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe so. But, like, it's also a weird back down move. It's like, well, we're going to sell it to Americans, like, all distributed, so we're not going to get them in a big group so you can't come kill them all. Like, that's weird.
Well, the other thing, too, is I guess a lot of other companies like Paramount and Lionsgate and all the people that put out films, they haven't gotten... I think it might have been before it was officially announced, but when Sony was hesitant on, are we putting this out or not, other companies couldn't figure out their proper distributions because if, like, the theater I go to, they usually have when the new film is new, it pretty much shows every half hour on a rotation.
Yeah.
So everyone else was trying to figure out what distribution rights they needed because if this movie wasn't going to be in the theater, that was extra showings for all these other companies. And Sony was kind of fucking around and being like, well, we're not going to tell you if it's coming out or not because we're not going to just give you the extra money for no reason. So there's this really weird, like, media political game going on right now aside from the threats. It's this really weird, like, movie production company versus company nonsense.
Well, that's, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the other thing is, like, maybe, like, we shouldn't rally behind this probably crappy, you know, Seth Rogen movie, but... And definitely we shouldn't rally behind Sony as, like, you know, heroes in anything, but we also shouldn't lose as America.
We're supposed to be the free ones, goddammit.
Yeah, we're supposed to be the ones who, like, stand up and say, no, this is stupid. Like, for all the crappy things our country does. And there are a billion of them.
We are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
We are the bad guys of the world, but at least we take stands. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least we aren't pussies, and this is what we're being.
And now we are. And now we're going to be pussies forever.
We've got nothing left now. Now we're just the bad guys who are also pussies.
Yeah. But to finish up the Sony hack stuff, there was a email from the Sony hacks where they showed that Alex Trebek was ready to quit Jeopardy over an incident, Josh. The rest of this podcast is happy as fuck.
I'm done with this fucking thing. To quit Jeopardy.
He was ready to quit.
I thought you said this was happy.
This is happy.
He's ready to quit.
Wait, I think they fixed it. So apparently it was Jeopardy Kids, aired from December 1st to 5th. One of the girls was in the negative before Final Jeopardy, which, as you know, Josh, means you cannot play Final Jeopardy.
I didn't know that because I don't know anything about Jeopardy, but go on.
Really?
I mean, I didn't even know there was a kids version, but okay.
There's college, there's teens, there's champions. Josh, I dominate Jeopardy Kids.
You dominate Jeopardy Kids. It's kids. It's like, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
And I am.
Apparently.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So
can you beat Ken Jennings, though?
I probably could.
He's pretty smart.
I think he threw the game. That's a whole different conversation.
Whoa, do you think the guys behind the Sony pulling the movie got Ken Jennings to pull his game?
He might have.
Whoa.
He was the longest winner. He made millions of dollars.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
But why would you stop? Why would you want to keep winning?
Because then Jeopardy is giving more and more money. If they tank it, he can't. If a normal person wins 10 grand and he wins 30 grand constantly daily, they're losing way more money that way.
Yeah, so you think they sabotaged it?
So I think there was a payoff.
Oh, payola. He's wearing a money hat.
Yeah. But so apparently, one of the kids, the one that didn't make Final Jeopardy because she was in the negative, Alex Trebek's wording of "you're not gonna be able to play in the final thing" was mean to her.
You're a dumb, stupid bitch, and you don't get to play Final Jeopardy. Is that how it was?
Yeah. So she was visibly upset and ran backstage crying with her mother. A producer writes in the emails. I mean, when a kid loses, they're gonna cry.
She left the show in the middle of it?
No, what? Yeah, I mean, quote unquote, at the end. So the whole thing, she was visibly upset and ran backstage crying with her mother. The producer and her mother eventually calmed the girl, and she returned to her set to watch the taping of another episode from the audience. But the mother wrote in a letter to producers that she was quite a bit taken aback with Trebek's reaction. According to the mom, Trebek didn't even console the girl backstage. If he had taken the time, he would have known, like you do, that my daughter is not a sore loser and does not become emotional solely over losing a game. She was upset about not being able to completely play the game till the end. I don't think I'll ever forgive him for that, the girl's mom wrote in a letter to Jeopardy producers. So, apparently, Trebek got mad because they basically said, we want you to retape the last part of the show to not be as rude to this girl, quote unquote. He wrote them an email back and said, if you all think I should retape the opening, I will. But I want to say that for 30 years I defended our show against the attacks inside and out. But it doesn't seem to operate both ways. When I'm vilified, corporate, and certainly legal always seem to say, don't say anything and it'll blow over. I'm not feeling support from the producers, and that disappoints the shit out of me. So I guess eventually they refilmed it and everyone calmed down. But it seems weird that Alex Trebek wouldn't have fucking pool there. But I mean, I know what that's like from working shitty retail. The manager has your back until someone bitches to you, and then they fucking lose your back.
Yeah, that's the worst. It's also kind of funny that everyone has their own little war they're waging, and you have no idea about it, right? You go talk to anyone about their crappy job they work, and there's life-changing huge things that they argue about and fight about every day, and to you it seems stupid, and you don't even care, and you've never even heard about it before. And it's funny to hear even Alex Trebek, where it's for years I've been vilified. It's like what? You're freaking Alex Trebek, stupid. You're your show host. It can't have been that bad.
Yeah.
Seems like a hard stance to take of, you made a 12-year-old cry, maybe let's do that again.
I guess he was I guess he cares that much about what we'll call the integrity of the show that he didn't want to fucking re-record and make it fake. He wanted to legit, we're going to fucking do this or we're not. Don't fucking tell me I did it wrong. I told her the same thing, tell everybody else. She ran crying in the back and her mom freaked the fuck out. And this is this week's drama of, but my mother says so. This is right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have taken his hard stance too of, no, if she's old enough to play Jeopardy, she's old enough to get bitched out by Alex Trebek. I would have been on that train with him.
Yeah.
It just seems weird to bring in the whole, this show, the integrity of Jeopardy. I don't know. I would be more angry that like she needs to like, learn how to put up with the world. Like she needs to learn that she doesn't get everything she wants just because she starts crying.
Yeah. I agree. Josh, speaking of putting up with the world.
I don't very well.
I'm going to give you the ultimate real life comic book crossover.
Ultimate.
There is a guy.
Yeah.
He is the mayor of Davao City in the Philippines.
That's a made up place.
Okay. So, this dude, the mayor, is known as the Punisher, Josh.
All right. Frank
because
Castle.
I guess they have some of the worst drug and terroristic like kind of shit going on there.
Okay.
This dude cracked down and basically said, not officially said like I'm going to be the one that does this, but 700 people have disappeared that have ties to any sort of terroristic or crime things.
Yeah.
Because of this dude. He's basically said like, if I know that you're one of the people doing like selling drugs or bringing down this country, I'm going to fucking kill you.
So he's threatened it and it's happened, like they've disappeared.
And like no one gives a shit. He is literally like, he didn't say it was going to be him, but he has made a group.
It's gonna get done.
Yeah, and people just fucking disappear because of this dude. He basically said, like, if I find out you're doing this, you will be an assassination target. I do not care. And he's been the mayor for fucking, like, 20 years or something like that.
Good lord.
Yeah, so he's a real-life goddamn Punisher. Where if people, like... I mean, obviously, it's a horrible, horrible place to live. If no one ever hears about the fact that, like, people just disappear, there's always, like, all this horrible shit going on.
If no one ever hears
but
that,
the fact that the mayor can be like, it's not going to be me, but if you don't knock this shit off in my town or my country... I'm gonna fucking have you assassinated.
Yeah, if that was here in the States, I would be appalled, but clearly that's a bad place to live, so if he's doing anything to make those people's lives better, like, maybe that's okay, but that's really messed up. I was always hoping, like, the first real-life superhero would be more Spider-Man and less Punisher, you know?
Yeah.
Not so much just mass murdering people, but, like, webbing people's faces up and making jokes. I want that more. I don't want scary Punisher mayor.
Yeah, so he was a mayor of Tough City. The story that I heard about today, you could say what he did was like NYPD's Bill Bratton during the Giuliani years, if Bratton's main tactic was extrajudicial killings. Duarte got his revenge on criminals by saying they were a legitimate target of assassinations. Around this time, a right-wing militia called the Davao Death Squad popped up and started killing criminals. It got so bad that between 2005 and 2008, 720 people were disappeared. So as the murder rate declined, more people went missing at the hands of the state. Duarte was operating in such a corrupt environment that deniability was always there.
Jeez.
But he had like interviews where it was never... He never said, I'm going to come kill you. He just always said, like, if I know you're doing stuff, like I said, you would be a legitimate target of assassination.
That's so weird. Like, I mean, at what point, like, he had to become a mayor because he, like, wanted to work through the system, right?
Yeah.
At what point do you think he just says, screw it, I'm going to kill people?
He's pretty much, like, only the Punisher, other than when he's fucking, like, for 2 seconds when he's the mayor, he's like, goddamn, like, Mike Hagar.
He really is. This is the real life Mike Hagar. That's a way better analogy than the Punisher. He walks into the office and just like rips off his suit and this is the Punisher outfit on underneath.
Let's go clean the streets.
Oh man, I hope his daughter doesn't get kidnapped.
Merry Christmas.
That's a Mike Hagar joke. That's not.
Josh.
Toby.
So, in the spirit of Christmas and giving,
Yuletide cheer.
The song breakdown for this week, Josh.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 classic Christmas songs.
All right.
That the lyrics are irrelevant. Everyone knows the lyrics. I'm going to fucking break them down like that. Song number 1. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Yes. The Santa Claus is his dad.
Or her dad. But
it's dad. Doesn't
that teach the kid bad things like mommy tramps around with Santa Claus?
Mommy's pretty much a hoe bag, yeah.
Anyone comes in the house with a nice suit and a beard, and mom's putting out and making out with him.
Yeah, mom's gonna like stick her tongue down his throat. Yeah, let's not. That song's weird. Yeah.
It teaches bad things.
It does. It teaches things you don't really want to...
People come from broken homes and become punishers when they grow up and become mayors because he saw mom kissing Pierre Noel in front of the tree.
That nice. That whole song too. That whole song too is like it's the kid just like trying to figure out like why is mom making out with this creepy man? Like what's going on?
On the base level, oh haha, it's cute, like mommy's kissing Santa Claus. And when you really break it down, you have to think about, is it dad? Is it somebody else dressed up as Santa Claus? Yeah. I don't know.
Who does?
It's a scary song for a kid.
the scariest.
The other scary song, Baby It's Cold Outside.
Baby, it's cold outside.
So.
It is cold outside.
It is. And the debate of this song constantly, once a year, when all the feminist rights things come up, basically, if you want to take it the worst way possible, it's a song about the guy raping the girl.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Break it down for me then.
Okay, so I'm going to look up the lyrics real quick.
Okay.
Because back in those days, I don't know what year it came out, 1944. Back in 1944, when the song came out, things like staying over at your boyfriend's house was a bad thing.
Sure.
So, here we go. When it starts getting creepy, Josh.
All right, bring it on.
The girl, my mother will start to worry. The guy, beautiful, what's your hurry? The girl, my mother will be pacing the floor. He says, listening to the fireplace roar. She says, so I really better scurry. He says, beautiful, please don't hurry. She says, but maybe just half a drink more. He says, put on some records while I pour. She says, the neighbors might think. He says, baby, it's bad out there. She says, say, what's in this drink? He says, no cabs to be had out there.
This is scary.
She says, I ought to say, no, 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 sir. He says, mind if I move in closer? She says, at least I'm going to say that I tried. He says, what's the sense in hurting my pride? So people say, like I said, that this song is about him fucking like roofie colladaing her and trying to rape her. The normal take is that because the song's from the 40s, it wasn't cool to want to stay at a guy's house, so she needed as many excuses as possible to stay at the guy's house.
Yeah, she wants to tell herself she's not a whore.
Yeah. Okay, so that's probably taking it too far too. I'm not gonna say she's a whore, but in a time where like I'm sure girls in 1944 are the same as girls in 2014. Maybe sometimes they can't stay at their boyfriend's house, need a reason to. Things like it's snowing outside or it's cold outside or oops, I had too much to drink is a legitimate reason for their parents to say like, okay, stay at his house.
Whoops. I have to make out with him on this bearskin rug all night.
Whoops, Mom. Toby bought a bottle of wine that him and I split, and now I'm too drunk to drive home. I'm going to go sleep in his bed.
now he's going to split me because we split the wine.
Yeah.
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 Merry Christmas.
I really wish we would have ended all those segments with Merry Christmas. But yeah, so I don't know if there's really much to discuss about that song, but the lyrics do sound a little rapey. If you're going to be one of those people that get butthurt about everything. But if you really think about it, it's really just a cute song about being in love when you're too young to be in love.
Alright, that's fine. I don't care about that anymore. I've got a song, Toby. Winter Wonderland.
Okay.
Alright. Let me find the lyrics here. So it's a song where like they talk about Parson Brown, right? Yes. In the meadow, we can build a snowman, pretend he's Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, ma'am, but you can do the job when you're in town." So he's gonna marry these people. There's a lot of this song.
Wait. Josh's mom does a lot of jobs when she's in town, just for the
great, amazing. I'm glad you. Yeah. The end song I found this is legit. This year, when Christmas music started playing, I was in a Walgreens, I think, and I heard this song come on the overhead speakers, their music player thingy, and I listened to the words, and I realized my entire life I've been mishearing a line in this song. Let me break it down for you. The actual line is, later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made. My entire life, I thought it was, later on we'll perspire as we dream by the fire. because they're laying by the fire. It's hot, and they're like getting it on because they're perspiring.
I think you're adding that to yourself.
Well, maybe I'm adding the context to it, but I really thought that my entire life, I really thought it was later on we'll perspire.
Merry Christmas. You buy Risk Factions yet, by the way?
No, man.
Come on, just fucking buy it.
We're in the middle of a show.
I know. We're just we're on a break, and I'm telling you to fucking buy it.
No, you buy it.
I did already.
That's fair.
But I looked it up. Regular Risk got really shitty reviews. Risk Factions gets great reviews.
Risk Factions was on the Xbox too.
Yeah, and they said multiplayer is awesome as long as you find a friend to play it with, and I have a friend named Josh.
Aww.
So, Josh, we've learned a lot tonight.
We have. We've learned a lot about ourselves.
And each other, and the world,
yes.
And drugging girls to sleep with them because it's cold outside.
Don't do that.
Don't. That's bad. Bad!
This isn't the 40s. Don't do that.
That's bad. You're going to get banned like the apprenticeship or interview. Whatever the fucking stupid movie is.
Your brain's breaking. This is the longest podcast we've ever done because your brain is broken.
I've also been drinking scotch the entire time.
Scotch.
That's what was jingling around before, Josh.
Yeah. I thought it was your brain inside your head. What?
That's probably true as well.
Yeah.
But Josh, here's the important thing.
Lay it on me, brother.
So this week, a lot of the things we talked about were given to us by our listening audience.
They were. This is like when PBS breaks it down and says, and if you like the programming that you've been hearing all year long.
Yeah. For example, Kieran hit us up on Twitter and showed us about the face singing protests.
That he did.
Josh, where are you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter. Toby, I have a new Twitter handle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let the people know. You
let the people know.
You can find me at Josh-tastrophe. That is like catastrophe, but with Josh at the front.
Is it actually a brand new Twitter account? Or
No,
can
I
you
just changed it. I changed the thing. But now if you go to my old one, which I'm going to stop saying it so it doesn't get confusing, it'll redirect you to this one because it says, "Did you mean?" and it has a link to my new one.
Okay.
Josh Tastrophe, JOSHTASTROPHE.
Right.
Yeah.
Kieran also tweeted that story at me at Girls Heart Geeks. Josh, along with that, people like Ernesto emailed us at cast@geek-pop.com and told us about how the interview wasn't coming out, and then I ran with it from there because I knew all the other stories that he wasn't able to email us about ahead of time.
Good for Ernesto, good for you, good for the world.
Right. So, if you want to email us things and give us stories to talk about or weigh in on the great Is This Song About Sleeping with Girls debate, cast@geek-pop.com. Josh, we also got some more 5-star rankings on iTunes this week.
Oh,
so we're moving up there. We're getting fucking beast mode. 2014, we're at the bottom. 2015, this time next year, goddamn top of the world.
We are like those songs we listen to. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole podcast fucking here. That's all the song I know.
But yeah, so you can find us on Stitcher and iTunes. iTunes is the big one. If you can rate the show 5 stars, if you leave a review, we will read it on the show because it makes us feel special. And most importantly, Dylan wrote in, it's Christmas time, Josh. He just wants to congratulate us on 6 months of doing this podcast. Aww. The first episode came out June 19th. So when this one comes out, it's going to be December 19th. That is 6 months.
Wow, Toby.
Or it's July, whatever 6 months actually works out to. It might not have been June.
Well, I'm bad at that too. I'm bad at the month thing.
So on the actual dates, line up where we've been doing this for 6 months.
That's exciting. Are you pumped still? Is your heart still in Geek Pop, Toby?
Josh, it has progressively gotten more and more of a clusterfuck every week, and I love it more and more every week.
I feel like it's taken like a personality of its own. Like the idea we had for what the show was going to be starting out is not what the show became, really. But I love what it's become.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
So what's happened on the podcast is what happened on Overanalyzed. The first maybe half, we kept it serious, kept on topic, like we're going to talk specifically about this. But the second half, our second act, is fucking fantastic. Where shit just flies off the handle all the goddamn time for no reason.
I think that's why we both wanted to start a podcast, was because we were so bummed out that Power Rangers kept making us talk about other things.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been the alternative to what we actually always needed.
Yeah.
But so maybe next year for Christmas we'll do something different. But like I said, next week right around Christmas there will be special stuff coming out.
Yay!
But this is the official Christmas episode of the podcast. So I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone that listens.
Indeed.
That's Josh's way of saying Merry Christmas to everyone that listens.
Merry Christmas. I was just throwing it in because you were on a roll. I didn't want to like throw you off, and now I've clearly done that. So let me just say also Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you so much for listening. It means a lot to us, and we are very thankful here on this not Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean, we're thankful for the people that have followed us through all the Power Rangers shit, all the new people, you know. It's been a great time. So again, next week is fun stuff. The week after that, we'll be back to the normal show. Once again, I am Toby.
And I'm Josh.
Merry Christmas, bitches.
Aw, yeah. 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 Aw,